Recently, I was lucky enough to be granted access to the second closed beta of Hunter Outlanders, the most recent mobile Monster Hunter game made by Timi, a Chinese developer renowned for its high-quality mobile game releases. That means that what you will see and hear today about Outlanders is subject to change. So some issues that may be apparent to everyone will rightfully be ignored due to the game not being finished yet, such as performance, bugs, or some funky translation decisions. Their history of being a well-respected mobile game studio alongside their Vidocs gave people the impression of Outlanders being something special, backed by genuinely passionate-sounding developers who understood what made Monster Hunter the only representative in its own genre to be still alive today. But my god, if this is how the game will be come release, I don't see it going anywhere with the core Monster Hunter audience. If my concerns come true, Outlanders will be a Monster Hunter game in name only, and you may be wondering why, cause obviously it has the monsters that you hunt, it has the gear that you forge, and all the other stuff that modern Monster Hunter has as well. So what gives? Well, let's first talk about what Outlanders actually is. Outlanders is a mobile gacha game, and if you care whatsoever about the gaming landscape, you will know that both of those terms are the biggest red flags a game can have, aside from being made by Ubisoft. For those who don't know what gacha means, it is essentially just gambling. You gamble on special characters with specific stats to increase your team's effectiveness. These special characters are of course not just a flat stat sheet that stays the same, they have ranks to them that vary in overall power. Think of arson weapons, but instead of being the cream of the crop that has multiple different ways to still be good, it now has clear-cut better versions with fewer ways to get them, and most of them being related to spending real-life money. So now that we know what kind of a monster Outlanders is, we should talk about what it does well, because unlike what chatter on social media may have you believe, the game actually does quite a few things well. And chief among those is the combat. Having played a few Monster Hunter likes in the past, like Dauntless and Wild Hearts on proper consoles, and a few mobile games that varied in complexity from simple stuff like Jetpack Joyride to Genshin Impact, I can safely say that Outlanders manages to merge Monster Hunter's combat with the mobile gaming control scheme really damn well. Surprisingly so. Something that people noticed when more information about the game came out was that the weapons present in the game are limited to only 6 out of the 14 from the mainline series. Quite a far cry from what we are used to, which led to a bit of disappointment that not all weapons would be present, which is understandable. Give me my hammer, you damn cowards. But after spending some time with the beta, I think I can see why the weapon selection is so limited. Not only was the feel of the weapons carried over exceptionally well with the speed, the effects, and the impact frames, but the movesets also had to be reworked to fit into a limited input UI alongside entirely new moves and combos not present in other games. The new combos and moves present actually freshened up what I thought would just be Monster Hunter World for a third time. They even went so far as to give us a target camera that can highlight specific monster parts, which is highly appreciated because I don't think you could properly single out parts on mobile otherwise. Even the items that you can use mid-combat are implemented in such a way that it doesn't feel clunky, with suggested items being immediately displayed when needed and your regular selected item being displayed underneath it. It is just a very good quality of life thing that they added. Now you may say, with this many UI elements, how are you even meant to see the monster when it attacks? Even there they had the great idea to make the monster flash red when it is about to attack. While this would be annoyingly overbearing on proper consoles, on mobile it is appreciated. But what would a good combat implementation be without a good monster roster to use it on? I know what you're gonna say here. I said it myself. This is just the Monster Hunter World roster for a third time, and you are absolutely right. Thankfully for us, the World roster was pretty damn solid, and the combat is spiced up a lot by the Radiant variants. Radiant monsters are this game's special powered-up enemies. They have body parts that you can attack to wear down a Radiance gauge, which I have hidden because this game has too many UI elements already, to get them out of their Radiant state. These glowing body parts also come alongside new abilities, be it the AoE poison attack of Puke Puke, or the Dread Queen-esque poison crystals of Rathian, or whatever else there may be. They, as mentioned before, make the combat a lot more interesting and even have their own special armor sets. Take that, Apex monsters from Monster Hunter Rise, even these monsters have more stuff to them than you. Aside from the combat, I also really have to praise the endemic life diversity. There are so many of them just running around, and a lot of which are just brand new. It is genuinely a lot of fun trying to collect them and look at their entries in the also genuinely amazingly designed logbooks. It is a small thing, but Monster Hunter had always thrived on adding a lot of small things that accumulated into a greater, more whole experience. There's also a lot of stuff to do in the open world with these random challenges and minigames you can find. However, that is already where I have to move to my main concerns that make me believe Outlanders will only really thrive in the demographic that already exists for gacha games. I don't quite know if you all remember the launch of Wilds or the criticism World got when it came to joining your friends in co-op hunts, but both of those games had massive critique levied at them for having clunky and difficult to navigate menus and having to jump through hoops to play with others. Outlanders took those criticisms, concentrated them, and then unleashed an absolute mess of menus into the game. The amount of menus present is insane. It is genuinely unbelievable how many menus they want you to navigate to do anything at all and grind some glup shitto stats to unlock the next quests or even co-op in general. If you remember the track search quests in World to unlock the next monster to hunt during the story, like Pink Rathian and the Coral Highlands, take that, up the amount of time you need to waste to increase some random arbitrary rank, and inject that shit into the progression every 3 to 4 quests, and you get how progression in Outlanders works. Although with at least a bit more variety, even if it's a shitty kind of variety. It is agonizing to constantly look at some menu to figure out how to get points to progress and then go to another menu to do the same for whatever reason. I can already see how they may use this to introduce some pay-to-progress options alongside the other various avenues this game may be monetized. And while we're already on the topic of out-of-place monetization, what the hell are those gacha characters? They do not look like Monster Hunter characters, with maybe 2 exceptions. Freya, especially, looks like your average generic fantasy character, with a few Rathalos pieces slapped on top of this Warframe-looking armor that was only placed there because the designers probably forgot that this is a Monster Hunter game with a very specific design philosophy. While Freya may be my worst offender, she's far from the only one. These aren't just cool spins on pre-existing sets. These are wholly different designs that don't fit into the wider world of Monster Hunter. At the very least, you can give these characters proper armors that you can forge. But still, it is a shame that something as integral to Monster Hunter as its distinct designs was shirked in favor of generic-looking armors to appeal to a wholly different player base. Why the hell are these characters even in the spotlight for Outlanders? That's like another thing that I don't understand. Like, sure, I get that gacha games have to sell characters to gain the interest of the audience, but why not at least have them share the spotlight with the monsters? Like, this hunk of a dude looks like a random gang member than someone meant to be the Anjanath character. Tell me right now how long it took you to see that his coat is made of Anjanath skin. Tell me. Genuinely, it took me a few glances. Monster Hunter's main allure are the monsters. Humans aren't even tertiary in that ranking. So why, even if you want to force the humans into the spotlight, have you made them distinctly not Monster Hunter looking characters? And I don't mean to say monetize new monster releases, which, let's be honest, may be something that they're thinking about, but instead I want them to realize that these fantasy-ass characters are not the stars of any given Monster Hunter game. It's the monsters. Placing the monsters front and center of the marketing would at least reliably tell me that they understand understood that. Though, from the lack of even a single new monster, I doubt that was their priority. Sure, that is a thing that can change as the game goes on, but I somehow doubt it will be changed. I had hoped that with a Monster Hunter game, a series so consumer-friendly, it is a genuine rarity in this day and age, the developers would pull back on the gacha at least a bit. But no, this feels as predatory as all the other gacha that have wormed their way into the gaming world. My main concern with this game is not that it will do well, because I know it will do well with a specific demographic. My main concern is that Capcom will see how well the game does monetarily and will double down on their microtransactions in the actual Monster Hunter games, which already have too much stuff locked behind a paywall that used to be earnable in-game, simply to satiate the greed of the shareholders. As much as I want to enjoy Outlanders, because it is a genuinely fun experience if you strip away all the gacha crap, the thought of how this may negatively affect the series as a whole just won't let me. At the very least, make a PC port, cause playing this on a phone feels horrible. Like, genuinely, I would actually give it more of a chance if it was on PC or on some other kind of console, but not the phone, like goddamn.